But I mastered that style. It's like the 5 deadly venoms. So all he had to do was get next to a nigga like that, and he could destroy him.
Believe in that, for real. We plan to take the same strategy we use with Death Row West, mind over matter, taking all our weaknesses and making it into our strength. That all these people talk about an East Coast, West Coast war, they like the Judas was to Jesus. They only here to cause confusion. We here to bring money and to bring change. They here to cause confusion. All these weak rappers, Nas, all these suckers, they battling off of East and West like this is a game. This ain't no game. If this was chess, we'd be yelling checkmate 3 years ago, because we've been beat these. It's not a game.
What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. EGOVELI, the return, the resurrection, still I rise, MOB, Outlaw West Side. Now, when I came out, I told you it was just about Biggie. Now, everybody had to open their mouth with a motherfucking opinion. Now, we gonna show you how we do it on this side, the real side. So, if you haven't checked out part 1 of my Andre Berto Mayweather Overkill video, make sure you do that. A lot of you guys left comments. There were some of you guys, some of the Caitlins, as expected, who were crying. But this is real shit. This is what I'm asking for, boxing fan. Don't just accept anything, even what I say. Don't just accept that. Take what's being said, read the comments, and be a real boxing fan and formulate an opinion for yourself on what makes sense. Because what I see in the comments, a lot of times I do the EGOVELI videos, and I'm not getting a lot of rebuttals. People are, you're an idiot, Ego. You suck, man. Oh my gosh, retarded. Like, that's the type of comments I'm getting. I'm not, like, half of the points, it's a 32-minute video, half of the points that I'm bringing up, nobody's even addressed, responded to. They defer and bring up other things. So, like, if this was a court case, treat this like a court case, right? When you're hearing these videos, and not just my videos, just boxing in general. Let's get it back to that good feeling of boxing, right? And treat it like a court case. In court, you can't just completely disregard the line of questioning, the evidence being presented and submitted in court, and talk about whatever you want. So if we're talking about Mayweather versus Berto and how bad of a fight it is and things like that, then address some of the points that are being brought up, not defer to other stuff. Now, here's the other thing. I'm going to keep saying this. Mayweather versus Berto is not the best welterweight matchup out there. But I've also said in the first video kind of why I think it happened, kind of put that out there. So, again, I'm telling you guys, it's not the best fight. Berto cut people in line, and I'm not going to say Berto was the most deserving. But what I am telling you in this video, the follow-up video, round 2, and I assure you, this is just a sparring session for me. This is easy because I know my stuff, and I'm coming from a factual standpoint. What I'm saying, I'm not making up, right? So what I'm saying to you is Mayweather is held to a different standard. Now, some people like him, some people hate Mayweather, but it's apparent even the guys that hate Mayweather, they hold him to a higher standard. They say he's a boring fighter, he's a coward, he's a chicken, yet they hold him to a standard that they are not willing to hold fighters that they praise. Like, let's say Canelo, Golovkin, or whoever is an exciting fighter, Deontay Wilder. They don't even hold those other guys to these same standards. So it tells me you put Floyd in a different class, in a different league, despite your slanderous comments. It has to mean that, right? So again, I'm not trying to promote or pump up the fight or say this is the best fight and legendary fight. But in my honest opinion, people are shitting on Berto as if this is the worst mismatch in the history of the world. Now, I get it. Floyd's already proven elite. There's no doubt about it. Do I think Berto will beat Mayweather? No, but if you read the comments, and this is kind of what I'm going to address in this video, if you read the comments and what people are saying, tell me that people aren't going over the top with the Berto slander. They're acting like Mayweather just took a dude out of Kmart and like, oh, you're next in line, come here, and fought him. Like, Berto is not what you guys are making him out to be. So without further ado, let me get into it. So the funny thing is this. Here's a name that I'm hearing most common being associated with Mayweather, Amir Khan. Now, he's a good fighter. He's on a 4-5 win streak, I would say, off the top of my head. Good fighter. Struggled a bit versus Chris Algieri, who didn't really have any momentum going into that fight, but nonetheless, he was able to secure a victory. Now, the thing with that is, this is all factual. This is not against Amir Khan. It's not against Mayweather, Berto. I don't do that. I don't have to do that on my channel. You know what I mean? If you look at Berto and you look at Amir Khan side by side, there's a striking resemblance in their resume, right? Period. Amir Khan, 31 wins. Berto has 30 wins. Now, for Amir Khan, 19 of those 31 came by way of KO. For Berto, a bit more. 23 came by KO. Now, this is the other thing that people don't realize because they probably don't know shit about boxing. Amir Khan is a talented fighter. He's a good fighter. But I think his power is overstated. Meaning that if you look at his resume, his whole entire resume, all the fights he's been in, right? All 34 fights. He has 1 KO on his resume. One KO. And that was to Zab Judah. And arguably, Zab Judah probably might have been able to continue, but he was arguing with the ref and got counted out. But Amir Khan's, his stoppages have come from TKOs. Now, the significance in that is a TKO is great. You know what I mean? A win in general is great. But there's a difference between TKOing someone and knocking them out cold. So the thing is, you look at Berto. Berto has actual TKOs and actual KOs. And what's strange, and I honestly didn't even know this until a couple of years ago, if you think about it, Amir Khan, as most fighters when they're coming up through the ranks, they fight some limited competition. That is just, they pad the record, get a feel for the pro game and stuff like that. And out of those limited talent pools, Amir Khan didn't knock out any of those guys. Even guys that are now known as feather-fisted, like Timothy Bradley and Paulie Malignaggi, if you look at their resume, they have some KOs where they actually KO'd guys. Amir Khan hasn't KO'd. I'm not talking about like Paulie Malignaggi because he was beating the shit out of Paulie Malignaggi. That's a TKO. I'm talking about out cold KOs. And that's rare, especially when you're coming up. As you step up in class, it's harder to get pure KOs. We all know that. But I'm talking about when you first start and you're fighting guys with, you know what I mean, who might be off of 7 losses and stuff like that. Berto has that. So to me, Berto has more power at welterweight, and he showed more power throughout his career, as his resume shows you. He has 23 KOs versus Amir Khan's 19. Then we'll move over to the losses. Berto has 3 losses, 1 via KO, and that was versus Jesus Soto Karass. Amir Khan also has 3 losses. 2 of those 3 came by way of KO. Now, here's the thing. Here's the difference, and this is how I know who knows their boxing. And you guys can try if you want to dispute anything I'm saying. But EGOVELI is kind of hard to go against these facts. So the thing is, Berto been stopped by Jesus Soto Karass, a journeyman, not the best opponent. But if you remember that fight and you know your boxing, that fight, he got stopped in the 12th round. Not only did he get stopped in the 12th round, he fought that fight from an early point in that fight with 1 arm. And it was apparent. I'm not talking about a Toradol shot or he declared an injury after the fight. We could visibly see, if you go look at that fight and watch it, you could visibly see him not really throwing with 1 arm. And he would later get surgery on that shoulder because he did something to his arm. And he was fighting. You could see him handicapped and gimped in that fight. And even when he attempted to throw, he would there's one point where he threw himself off balance and fell to the ground because he was in immense amount of pain, I'm assuming, and he was wincing. So, nonetheless, he fought Soto Karass with 1 arm. He showed heart, and with 1 arm, he made it to the 12th round where he was eventually stopped. You look at Amir Khan, right? 2 of his 3 fights that he lost in came by way of KO. The other was to Lamont Peterson, which I thought he won that fight. See how realistic I am? I thought he won, but when these other fanboys get on here, they'll never say anything. So people are going to say, you hate Khan. If I hate Khan, then I would say Peterson won. You know what I mean? Just to not give Khan credit, right? Because he did win on the scorecards. But I thought the 2-point deduction was bullshit. I have no problem being realistic. It was a good fight. It was a competitive fight. I think Peterson showed some vulnerabilities in Khan on the inside, but I thought Khan shouldn't have been deducted 2 points, and he would have won that fight. You know what I mean? Maybe 1, and he still would have won the fight, but 2 was egregious. Anyway, back to the point. 2 of 3 of Khan's losses came by stoppage. The Bradis Prescott, he was an underdog. He got stopped in the 1st round. Now, people are saying, Berto, Mayweather just wants an easy KO. He just wants to knock someone out, right? And we're talking about a guy who fought with 1 arm and a guy who made it to the 12th with one arm against a journeyman and got stopped in the 12th versus Amir Khan. He fought the underdog at that time. Berto was coming off a loss when he fought Soto Karass. Amir Khan was undefeated when he fought Bradis Prescott. Bradis Prescott was clearly the underdog in that particular fight, and he got stopped. He got caught cold, didn't get into the fight, and he got stopped in the first round. But yet the people are saying Mayweather just wants to fight Berto because he wants an easy KO. So based on that fact, no, let me keep going. Then the other KO loss was to Danny Garcia. I thought Khan looked pretty sharp. He was looking pretty good, busting Garcia's face up. And then the third round came. He got knocked down, badly hurt, and he wasn't able to make it out of the fourth round. Kenny Bayless stopped it. And it was a rightful stoppage, in my opinion, because he just looked gone, and he had been knocked down, I want to say 3 times by Danny Garcia. So it was a fun fight while it lasted. It was a 4-rounder. It lasted 4 rounds, and I think they both split 2. Like the first 2 rounds, I had Khan winning, and then obviously the third and fourth round, Danny Garcia won and got the stoppage. So when people are saying that Berto, he's just no match, he's no match, and Mayweather wants an easy KO, all we have to go off of is their resume. Like the fight hasn't happened, so we don't know what's going to happen. And if we go off a resume and what we've seen in the past, who has a better chin? But see, people are pushing the envelope saying Khan needs the fight and he gets the fight. And I'm not talking about who's a better. I'm just talking about solely factual information on paper. I'm not talking about stylistically or anything. Because realistically, in my opinion, neither Berto or Khan are known for defense or having an impeccable defense. Now, I will say Amir Khan, in my opinion, overall has looked better in his last 6 fights or so, right? Josecito Lopez versus Berto. Berto got off to a rocky start, but he was able to still get the stoppage. So that lets you know he still has power, and he could be losing a fight. To me, things like that are significant. People say Mayweather's feather-fisted, and he's slowing down, and he's old and stuff like that. So a guy who's getting beat to the punch for 5 rounds or whatever it was with Josecito Lopez, and then he comes back and hurts Josecito Lopez, knocks him down twice, and gets a stoppage. To me, that's pretty dangerous because you were getting whooped and then you still turned it around. Amir Khan, in my opinion, doesn't have that type of power where if he's getting outboxed and he's getting frustrated, he's going to come from behind. When is the last time Amir Khan has stopped someone? Berto just got a stoppage in his last fight. When is the last time Amir Khan stopped someone? Carlos Molina? You know what I'm saying? And that was a 135-pounder who had moved up to 140 and he had no punching power. And Amir Khan didn't respect his punching power. But it's different if somebody's precise like Mayweather. So you see, a lot of people are going to totally shit on Berto, but a closer look when you analyze the facts, there's a lot of bottom line is this. I don't give either fighter, I don't think anyone at welterweight is beating Mayweather right now unless Father Time catches up with him and he gets old overnight, right? That's just my opinion. So I'm seeing an increasing amount of media who are just completely bad-mouthing Berto as if he has nothing to offer and it's the worst choice. But then they're celebrating other options like Amir Khan. And I just showed you their records are pretty comparable. The biggest difference that stands out is Khan has been stopped earlier and stopped an extra time than Berto, right? And that's just a fact. These are facts. These are facts that I'm saying. Now, that's just what it is. Despite if you think Khan has a better shot to beat Mayweather or Berto or whatever, both guys would be an underdog versus Mayweather. And that's just what it is. And that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of power, Berto still has power. He has nasty uppercuts. He's bigger mass-wise than Mayweather. Now with Khan, if Khan were to fight Mayweather, to me, that's more of a chess match because I don't think Khan has he has power that I guess you could respect. No, like you're not necessarily going to walk through it, but it's not power that I don't know. It's not like Maidana power. It's not Golovkin, Canelo power, where just each punch is a thud and, you know what I'm saying, your arms are necessarily sore. I think to be, and this is just my opinion, and I'm from the base, so I have no reason to be biased. I think Khan is as much vulnerability as he showed with Freddie Roach. I think that is more his natural fighting style. So I think it suits him better than Virgil Hunter. And that's just, I'm just being real with you guys. I think it suits him more because it's more natural. I think what he's doing, I understand why Virgil Hunter's fighting with Khan and trying to show him different things, because he's trying to improve him as a fighter. And a lot of people question his chin and stuff like that. But I think that throw caution to the wind, reckless abandon Khan is more suiting. He was looking more devastating when he was fighting like that. You know what I mean? Like when he was fighting Maidana. Maidana got hurt badly by a body shot. And some of the punches that Maidana was taking, they just looked ferocious, like fierce, like bah, bah. So to me, that throw caution to the wind, go for broke Khan is very dangerous, because I don't know if he has the best chin. But at the same time, it's effective, because that's where I really seen Khan was overwhelming guys when he was doing that. But as he's fighting a smarter fight, he hasn't looked as impressive to me. Like you look at the Chris Algieri fight. You look at Chris Algieri versus Khan versus Paulie Malignaggi, night and day. Paulie had no answers for Khan and his speed. He was just getting tattooed. His face was getting busted up. Even Danny Garcia, that was still under Freddie Roach. Danny Garcia's face was getting plastered by Khan. But ever since the Virgil Hunter switch, and again, I understand Virgil Hunter's trying to make him more of an educated fighter and make better decisions based on his chin, or, you know what I mean, susceptibility to get drug into the wrong type of fight. But to me, let's say, this is my opinion, if Khan were to beat Mayweather, I think it'd be more the overwhelming style of Khan, not like a measured Khan. Like, I think you almost have to pressure Mayweather and kind of go for broke and have that fucking attitude. And to me, I don't think Khan has that fucking attitude anymore, because Virgil Hunter's teaching him more of the basics. This is just my opinion. But as far as Berto, again, I'm not going to keep saying this. It's not the best fight in the world. I explain why I think it is taking place. Either people are going to watch it or not watch it. But the way people are depicting it is not accurate either. You know what I mean? People are saying Berto's a joke of a fight. And some of those same people are saying Amir Khan is the fight that he should have taken. So if you look at their records and you look at what each fighter has been through, I don't really see that either. The fact of the matter is, like I said earlier, all of these dudes at welterweight, if they step foot in the ring with Mayweather, they'd all be underdogs. So it's really a matter of stylistics and the individual intangibles and the qualities that each fighter brings. So to me, the fact that Khan, his chin is not always reliable, and the fact that it's hard to outbox Mayweather, I don't know if Khan would beat him. And again, I think the Khan that fought with Freddie Roach, that just had that overall kind of reckless abandon attitude, would have more success with Mayweather, because at 38, Mayweather would have to keep up with that blistering hand speed and him letting his hands go. But this new measured Khan, where he's in and out of the pocket, maybe instead of doing a 6-punch combo, he's doing a 2 or 3-punch combo and then tying up or clinching or getting out of the pocket. You know what I'm saying? So you're expecting a guy to outbox the guy that, if you look at all Mayweather's fights, most of the time it wasn't just a pure boxer outboxing Mayweather that gave him problems. It was like a tricky southpaw with some speed, athleticism, and power. Maidana's awkward, unorthodox punches and pressure and things like that. Those are the guys. Cotto being more of a boxer puncher, a left-hander that fights orthodox with a good jab. De La Hoya with a good jab. I don't really know Khan for his jab. So again, when I'm breaking down the fight, Berto, at the very least, people will say, like Mayweather wants an easy knockout. He's been knocked out less times than Khan. And again, the time he got knocked out, it was in the 12th round. He's been knocked down. I think Guerrero knocked him down. Ortiz knocked him down. But in all of those fights, even the fight where he got stopped by Soto Caras, he showed heart. Khan shows heart also. I give him that. But he's been stopped. He showed heart versus Danny Garcia by getting back up. It takes something to get back up and continue to keep fighting. Props to Khan for that. Khan, I never shortchanged Khan in terms of heart. But sometimes your body will take over and heart is not quite enough. You know what I mean? If you have a shaky chin where you can't take too much punishment or whatever the situation, your body kicks in. So Khan has heart. I give him that. They both have showed heart. But people keep saying this like Berto is the chinny one and he's been stopped less, right? And that's the thing. I just don't, I'm not understanding. It's not making sense. And to finalize the video, just to add insult to injury, in the classic EGOVELI fashion, this is the other double standard with this whole situation. Despite what I said in the last video and in this video with Mayweather taking a tough schedule, and then the moment he takes somebody who is out of the top 10 but a former champion, 2-time world champion, even though Kell Brooks and all these guys are fighting Jojo Dan and Frankie Gavin, who have done way less than Andre Berto, is this. When Kell Brook was fighting some of the Jojo Dans and Frankie Gavins, when Keith Thurman was fighting Collazo, you guys were leaving comments saying, Kell Brook is ducking. Keith Thurman's a bitch. Why is he not fighting this person? And a lot of you guys listed Berto, who was an available opponent, right? So you mean to tell me, instead of seeing Keith Thurman versus Collazo, which actually turned out to have a little bit of excitement, on paper, you guys were saying he's weak. Keith Thurman is weak for fighting Collazo, and he should have fought Berto, and you guys recommended that. So let me get this straight. A young champion with a resume that's nowhere near Floyd Mayweather's. A good fighter, though. I like Keith Thurman one time. With the one-time power, he talks a good game, well-spoken. He's a good fighter, boxer, puncher, moves a bit, has power. So a young guy, a young star who's rising, but not as accomplished as Mayweather, you're okay and you're recommending that he fight Andre Berto because you feel that's a step up. But the guy who's fought all these former champions, the Pacquiaos, the Cottos, the De La Hoyas, the Diego Corrales when he was undefeated, Arturo Gatti, rest in peace, the guys like DeMarcus Corley when he was still relevant, guys like Zab Judah, guys like Carlos Baldomir, guys like Canelo when he was undefeated, Ricky Hatton when he was undefeated, Victor Ortiz coming off the biggest win of his career, Shane Mosley, that guy, it's unheard of for him to even consider fighting a guy like Andre Berto, but you want to see the young, less accomplished champion like Keith Thurman or Kell Brook fight Andre Berto. How does that make sense? Why would the guy who's done less have the luxury of fighting a guy like Andre Berto and you're content with that? Oh, because he's TBE, he can't fight anybody that's like Berto. You know what I'm saying? That just sounds ridiculous. We're nitpicking a person who is proven more. Bottom line, no matter what you slice it. And people, that's again the double standard. People are okay with seeing a knockout artist like Keith Thurman fight Andre Berto and they have no complaints. They'll be like, oh, that's a good step up. But the guy who's already stepped up time and time and time again is blasphemous. It's blasphemous to you for him to even consider fighting Andre Berto. So to me, if nothing else, that just goes to show you how good Mayweather is and what pedestal that even the haters put him on. Because a knockout artist, you're okay with seeing him fight Berto, and you think that would be a good fight and a better fight than Collazo or who Keith Thurman has been fighting. But the more accomplished veteran in the game, it's a total mismatch and a joke of a fight. That goes to show you how good he is. Because if it's good for a knockout artist to fight, then you're just saying Floyd is on a different level, so now you want to see him tested, and that's not a good enough test. That's basically what you're saying. EGOVELI, and I'm signing out.